So tonight there's going to be about 700 youth sleeping outside in our county, and that number has grown about 145% over the last 5 years.
To think about the reasons why a young person would run away from home is many-fold, and I think there are some common threads that exist for the young people I think we see overall. One is poverty.
The high cost of housing, compounded by unemployment, has a greater effect on homeless youth than the general population. When you add in family problems or abuse and neglect, young people have few places to turn for help.
I needed help, I got the help. I was homeless for years, and without a place like Social Advocates for Youth, I don't know where I would be.
Some things happen on the streets that really, instead of it being just an uncomfortable experience, it really closes down opportunities. It creates more barriers, and it breaks a young person the longer they're out there.
"40 years ago, a group of Sonoma County defense lawyers saw kids coming in and out of the juvenile justice system. The only crime they had committed was being homeless. That was the beginning of Social Advocates for Youth, or SAY, an organization that gives voice to young people trying to get off the street.
And we do 3 things today. We do housing, counseling, and jobs. And so, and our goal and our vision is to make youth homelessness history in Sonoma County, help children, teens, youth, and their families think and feel better, and develop the workforce of tomorrow.
The Ceres Community Garden and Kitchens provide young people with job and culinary skills. Ceres works with SAY as a community partner to teach these skills to homeless youth.
The big aha moment that young people have at Ceres is when they realize, oh my gosh, there are problems in the world, and secondly, I can help answer those problems. And that's the aha that shifts a lifetime, that changes. Kids go to medical school, they go study nutrition, they get turned on to being an activist because of that aha moment.
About 4 years ago, I was homeless and like in tremendous amounts of debt, and my credit score was horrible, and I was starving, and it was horrible. And now I'm married, about to move to buy some property, hopefully in the next 5 years. Married to a beautiful wife, working my dream job, making decent money. Life's great. It's crazy.
At SAY, we see in our programs about 95% of our kids are from Sonoma County. So we're really not working with young people that are thumbing up and down the 101 corridor and, you know, having a joyride. We're really working with young people who are committed to working on their future and committed to working on themselves. You cannot pull yourself up by your bootstraps if you have no boots.
Youth homelessness in Sonoma County has jumped 145% in the past few years. To deal with this crisis, SAY needed to expand their services. They toured the closed Warrack Hospital property owned by Sutter Health, and it seemed perfect for a new homeless youth dream center.
We had so much hope and excitement that day when we walked through there. And then we looked up, and our excitement was immediately tempered because the roof was like Swiss cheese, and it kind of smelled mildewy in there. And it was an old hospital that had been used for storage since 2008. So we realized this was going to be a big project.
We formed a capital campaign cabinet, and it was led by Connie Cotting and Bill Friedman. And they formed a cabinet of folks here in the community to raise $9.5 million. And others who have stepped forward to say, hey, listen, it's not just about the building. Let's get these young people in there too, and let's make sure we support it for the first 5 years of its operations.
When we asked them for the building, because we asked them for it, we said, can we have the hospital? And they said, we've never given away a hospital before. And we said, we've never received one, so let's do this together. It's a match made in heaven.
Despite the excitement, many people in the Bennett Valley neighborhood where the SAY Dream Center would be located had concerns about how the center may change the area. Rabbi George Gittleman is a supporter of the center and listened to many in his congregation about their concerns of neighborhood disruption and the possibility of falling property values.
I have to say I was naive in terms of I didn't see a downside, and I'm not sure I see one today, although I understand why some people are concerned and perceive that it could be a problem.
The letters to the City Council and the Planning Commission were running 8-1 against the project. And with that kind of opposition, I was afraid it could be derailed.
Volunteers like Fred Patucha worked closely with the staff of SAY to educate and engage the neighborhood.
We had meetings, we had a lot of one-on-one conversations. Our board was involved, Matt and I were involved, our kids were involved. It was a major effort.
I can't tell you, I've gone to a number of lunches and dinners. I've had a lot of wine and cheese in people's living rooms, and even had some tea with some very sweet old ladies, just listening. And we're not done listening.
But for the most part, the folks in the congregation that were concerned had reasonable concerns. We had reasonable conversations. We may disagree about the risks, but we all agreed about the need. I think the need's pretty clear, at least by the people that I serve.
Why should they blindly trust us? We had to earn their respect, just like we had to earn the respect of our youth when we served them. And that's okay. And now we have hundreds of people that live around the Dream Center that can't wait to volunteer in the garden. They're already making meals for our kids. So there's not a question of what that education did and what that outreach did. It really united a community.
One of the big things that SAY is going to be able to provide is that everything's going to be in one location. So you're going to have the people that go into the housing program are going to be able to get housed, which is a big deal already. But say they need help with employment, instead of driving halfway across town to the headquarters, they're going to have someone right there to help them with employment, just right down the hall.
The Ceres Community Project will be opening a culinary and nutrition job training kitchen at the new Dream Center.
One of the reasons that SAY and Ceres make sense is we have very similar value systems as organizations. We will be on site with a program that allows young people to develop life skills, work readiness, and job skills. We see them as whole, and that's how we meet them.
Let's not underestimate the heart of the community. I think, this community has heart. In this case, they're opening it, and hopefully it's going to be a great success for everybody.
These youth are the future of our community, of our nation. And if we don't step up, and as that old adage, a stitch in time saves 9, you give them some support, you give them some training, you give them some counseling, you let them know that someone cares about them as individuals, and you have a real good chance they're going to be positive, productive citizens.
They could be a teacher, a doctor, a great parent. They could be a United States president someday. We don't know. And that's why we do this work.
There is such a sense of community here that the idea that we would not move forward with this dream, that we would not move forward with creating housing for youth, that we would not be there for the youth who need it the most, that wouldn't happen here. That's not who we are. This community has definitely stepped up and said we are in it together.